Candidates often ask for donations or votes. However, not all of them do a great job of being responsive to questions or concerns outside of campaign season. What are your plans to engage? And for incumbents, tell us about how you've been responsive to citizens when urgency was important over your most recent tenure.
Thank you. Well, I'm grateful for this question because I think it's one of the things that I enjoy the most. I like people, and I always say you have to make me not like you, and not that there aren't those that are out there that try really hard. However, I like you by default, and I enjoy the company and friendships of people that have different ideas than I do, and some of them very strongly held. But I can tell you within my close and larger circles, there are all types of people with all types of opinion, which I think makes life better and makes me a better person. So I look forward to having regular town halls. I look forward to having a place and time set where people can come have coffee with me, where we can sit and really talk about their personal experience and what they bring to the table that I don't know. And that's one thing I've been learning throughout this process is you think you know some, you don't. There's so much to learn in this type of position. And I am appreciating the fact that I am learning from people that I've never met before, some that I have met before. But this is something I think is vital to what we do as council members and something that I look forward to the most. So what I would say is I will always want to hear opinions. I will always want to hear the facts, because without it and without open transparency and without being authentic and being authentic with our citizens, we cannot make good decisions, and our citizens can't make good decisions. So I think authenticity and dedication and openness are the things that I'm looking for in someone in any public office, and something that I want to be. Thank you.
Gerard Hudspeth for Mayor, Incumbent.
Thank you. So a few things. Obviously, email vets, I respond to those. It's one of those things, if you get 800, you won't get that many, but let's say you get 50 emails day before, Monday evening before Tuesday, then certainly no, because again, we all work. This is, I call it my volunteer job. I allocate enough time and then beyond, certainly, but there are limits. I do have to work to maintain my household. So those things have to go together. And so if I get a bunch of emails the evening before a meeting, certainly I'm not going to be able to respond to all of them, but message heard, and I think my voting record would align with adjusting to those. The questions from the day is also an indication of that. Phone calls, certainly return those. In-person meetings, I try to do those regular coffee meetings. So my favorite two spaces, I mean, I love all coffee shops in Denton, let's start there, but the regular haunts are Zera's the Froth there by UNT. If it's somebody coming into town, I want to be mindful not having them have to drive as far. And so try to hit those. And then Duino there across from the courthouse, just because I want to try to get them more business. And then I often wear my mayor's shirt when I'm out and about. I'm shopping, I'm doing those things. I'm a walking billboard for Denton. I take those lumps. I'll be on aisle 11, just yesterday on aisle 11 in Kroger, and get hit up about streets. That's fair. I bring all that. I try to attend as many festivals, as many chamber events as possible to be seen. And then also I have the city secretary help me track the calls and emails and response to make sure I hit those things. Thank you.
Right. Lucas Wedgeworth for Mayor.
Do you mind saying the question again for me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Candidates often ask for donations or votes. However, not all of them do a great job of being responsive to questions or concerns outside of campaign season. What are your plans to engage?
Well, I don't think you have to go very far into social media to see what people are saying about Denton, whether it's Facebook or Reddit or Instagram. What are the things that people are complaining about? What are they talking about? What are their issues? I mean, low wages, bad street construction, infrastructure that's needing to be rebuilt, how it's impossible to find an apartment that's an affordable, situation for you to live in. The people are loudly saying what they want, and they're saying it constantly. They're not necessarily saying it to council or saying it to the mayor, but they're saying it. Their voices are out there, and it doesn't take much sorting through it to see what's really bothering the local people of this town. And I think that there's no reason why we can't modernize and streamline this system. We could be asking the citizens what they want. There's so many easy options on social media to form polls, to probe the public, to ask them what their actual needs are. When starting this campaign, that was my main goal. What do you need? What do you struggle with? What are your hardest stories related to Denton? Because that's where you should start. Thank you.
Thank you. Erica Garland for place 5.
Will you repeat it one more time?
No problem. Candidates often ask for donations or votes. However, not all of them do a great job of being responsive to questions or concerns outside of campaign season. What are your plans to engage?
Well, I can tell you that my favorite part of this entire process has been interfacing with people, meeting different people that I never expected to meet. I'm a firm believer in having tough conversations and finding out why someone believes or thinks the way they do. So that's been my favorite part of this entire process, is just meeting different individuals, getting cued into issues that I wasn't aware of, and then also learning the why. In my professional world, I am kind of known as someone that makes myself available. I'm accessible. I love people. I enjoy helping people. And so that's something that I would definitely carry with me throughout this candidacy, is just making myself available. My cell phone number's, at the bottom of every email. It's definitely out there. So, I love people. I love talking to people and just, learning more about them and figuring out more about, our city and the people that make it up.
Thank you. Brandon Chase McGee, place 5, Incumbent.
Thank you. So this question is about accessibility. Brief story. On Friday, I got a phone call from someone who gave me the contact of a resident who was having some issue with some construction. So you know what I did? I did something that I've done more than probably 50 times inside of my past 2 years. I called her on the phone and I set up a time, and Mayor Pro Tem and I went to her house yesterday. That's what accessibility is. I am very proud to say there is no one more accessible on Denton City Council than me. It's just that simple. Most everybody in here has my cell phone number. We've had it for a long time because I have been a community member and I've been active in this community. I have met with most of you. I have been to a bunch of y'all's houses. I've been on a boat with some of y'all. I've even come to your houses when it's been outside the city. I have been at your birthday celebrations or your wedding renewals. That's accessibility. I respond to every email, every Facebook message, every text message. I return every single phone call. Everybody can't say that. There are a couple members of my council who they might say they're accessible, but they're nowhere to be found. There are people in the audience who know that I'm telling the truth. Not everybody responds. I don't know why that is, but that's the job. The job is to be responsive. No one does that better than me. I'm in this community, and I want to make sure that I'm accessible because I don't know everything. The best way to do this job is to make sure that I'm accessible so y'all can tell me what I need to do to be successful. Thank you very much.
Lilyan Prado Carrillo for place 6.
All right, thank you. So I want to just say, I think that it's really important for us to engage all of our population, right? So absolutely town halls, I planned on doing that, actually hosting them bilingual to make sure that we do not count out, populations that have a language barrier. Also, just attending meetings, celebrations, outreach to our citizens. We want to make sure too that we are actually bringing in more people into this political process, right? Only about 10% of people in Denton residents vote for municipal elections, and so we want to make sure that we're actually bringing them in, educating them, getting them involved, right? Letting them know that they are that their voice matters and that they need to be empowered. I want to address something that you talked about. So you said good at accepting money. We've been talking about my endorsements. There are people that are supporting me. All you have to do to see who supports who is follow that money, right? And so you can look at that financial statement and see where the support actually is. Yes, I'm lucky to be endorsed by some candidates, current council members, retired council members, school board members, current school board members, retired, educators, business owners, and if my dad could do it, he would probably do it as well, right? So I want to make sure that we are not paying attention to divisive language like that. We're trying to move together, right? The last thing I want to say about responsiveness, I'm very responsive. My dad, as was in financial aid for about 8 years, I worked at UNC as a program director for the Emerald Eagle Scholarship Program, which is the tuition guarantee program. People still call me today and say, hey, your dad gave me your number, can you help me out with FAFSA? It doesn't matter who you are, I will be there and I will make sure that I am as helpful as I can to meet your needs. Thank you.